Godot 4.4 is out!
Finally, woo! This is the big one.
Yeah, I think
I've
they're
been
all
waiting for
pretty
this one
big.
for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all pretty
this
big,
one,
but like this one you and I have been waiting for a minute.
this one specifically has features that you've been like, oh, I wish Unity, or they would take this over from Unity.
I'm gonna say that probably a lot throughout this, looking at the list of things that they're talking about. I'm gonna just be going, yep, I wanted this one for a while. Yeah, I wanted this one.
Okay, so let's get started. Jolt into action. Jolt physics. The Jolt extension has been widely used as the de facto physics engine by many Godot developers since its inception in late 2022, so it only made sense to integrate it into the engine directly. Jolt physics itself is actually a standalone open source physics engine, and its creator helped immensely with the Godot bindings. While this pull request might be one of the most rigorously tested ones, we are eagerly awaiting your feedback and GitHub issues to eventually be able to drop the experimental label on this edition. Until then, you have to enable this alternative to Godot physics in the project settings. Before you do, make sure to check if your interests/use cases are properly supported in the documentation.
So what were they using before? PhysX?
They were using Bullet.
Oh right, yeah, they were using Bullet.
They were using Bullet, but they switched. A lot of people didn't like Bullet because the Bullet creator is actively against supporting game engines for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard too, and that like he was against doing performance specific updates. He was more research and focused on stuff like that. So that makes sense that they would want to use a more performant physics engine that's designed for games.
Exactly.
We should probably do a physics engine test. Well, I've barely used any of their 3D physics, but we should do a physics engine test for the 3D physics sometime, I think.
Here's what's getting me is I thought Jolt physics was a standalone implementation, but they said it's like an alternative to Godot physics. So I wonder if Godot has their own physics engine. Truthfully, I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I thought that this was their implementation, but maybe not. I think they're probably just calling the Godot physics Bullet, or Bullet Godot physics here. Yeah.
Okay, the big one. Window management magic. Embedded game window. Godot runs the game as a separate process from the editor for two reasons. Avoid having to share resources as much as possible. In case of a game crash, keep the editor running to avoid data loss. However,
how many times in Unity have you crashed Unity by running something that would like start an endless loop?
Oh yeah, all the time. Specifically starting out, yeah, that happened a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You just learned to save.
Constantly. Whereas that's a nice feature I've liked about Godot is that's never happened. I've never actually crashed Godot itself from just doing something stupid in a game. But okay, let's continue.
However, this design choice previously prevented embedding the game window into the editor, which is something that users with limited screen space, like on single monitor setups or laptops, are looking for. Thanks to some window management tricks, it is now possible to embed the game seamlessly and interact with the rest of the editor while still keeping the processes separate in the background. Note that this only works on Linux and Windows and Android for now. Support for Mac OS X or Mac OS will require a different approach for this technical reason.
This is so nice for workflows. Oh my goodness. This is going to be just a game changer for making things super nice and easy to use and just make things a lot more seamless.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing with Godot, specifically in 3D. I find a lot of things aren't as seamless as they are in Unity, and this is a big step to making it more similar.
Yeah. Okay, step into your project's interactive in-game editing. Woo! Really nice for debugging. Modifying your game from within the editor while it is running or paused has never been easier. This release lets you click on elements within your scene and move the camera, allowing you to explore your game worlds in ways not possible before. Big deal.
Huge deal. This is the one I've wanted for so long.
This is just nice for testing.
Yes. Especially with doing netcode and stuff, I find this to be quite handy to see if things are being synced properly sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm just going to drag this ball somewhere and see if it syncs properly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a pain sometimes when specifically writing my own netcode. That it was just, I would
Mm-hmm.
have to keep testing, make sure everything's synced. It was a kind of a pain.
Yes. Whereas this just it's a nice handy tool.
This is going to fix a lot of that. This brings it really up to other engines like Unity and Unreal, because this is a feature they have, and this is kind of
Yeah.
expected from what I understand in a lot of modern engines, and so it's finally here. It's bringing Godot into a modern era, although it's already a great engine. It's just, this is, for usability, it's a
Another
lot
yeah.
better.
This patch has so many usability updates. It's ridiculous.
Make games in VR. Okay, I haven't read this one. Android
Mm,
editor support for OpenXR for XR devices, not OpenXR. Because the
yeah.
Godot editor
Basically, Oculus Quest.
yeah, because the Godot editor itself is a project made with the engine like any others, it can be made available in more unconventional places like the web or mobile. While this release, the first steps have been taken over to use OpenXR to transfer the existing Android editor into the context of XR headsets. Current support on Meta Quest 3, Quest 3S, and Quest Pro. So
Yeah,
this is
I knew it.
literally
I didn't even read that. I knew this was Quest.
you
I
knew it
knew
was
it.
just going to be Oculus Quest or Meta Quest
Yes.
now.
Since I did Quest development, I was like, this is a Quest update.
I just kind of find this one funny. I don't think this one's gonna be like this is a, to me, a yes we can moment, but should we? How many people do you know that have an OpenX, like an Oculus headset, but don't have a computer?
Oh, that's a good point.
I think that number's basically zero. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. Someone with
Yeah,
just a phone.
but, but I imagine for testing, it's going to be a lot nicer.
Yes, for
Because
testing, I think it'll be
when
better.
I was a VR developer, I was constantly taking my headset off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on,
So,
because it was just like a huge pain
so
to
do you think
do.
this
That's
would
what.
have made it easier for you?
Oh yeah, if I could have done like some of the smaller updates in the headset and then just ran them from there, definitely that would have been a huge quality of life upgrade. Because talking with some other VR developers, that was like their biggest pain point too, was constantly having to put the headset on and take it off for just small changes.
Yeah, testing's just kind of hard.
Yeah. So no, this one, yes. If I was still a VR developer, this would be my favorite update.
And if you used Godot, because
Yes.
you
When I
use
was a VR
Unity.
developer.
Yeah, you were
Yes.
official Unity developer, which I guess we still are.
Hmm.
So, not
Yeah.
for the company, just for other companies. Okay. Uber exciting. Ubershaders to reduce stutter. Ubershaders at run are that. Ubershaders are at load time pre-compiled versions of each shader with all their features. These shaders become the fallback whenever a new object is drawn, so that freezing as we wait for more specialized shader pipeline in the background to compile becomes a thing of the past. This technique, therefore, completely avoids shader stutter. The improvements from this change will be noticeable in most games without requiring any content changes. Oh, that's nice. In some cases, the Uber shaders won't work, however. Refer to the workarounds for shader stutter in the official documentation to learn about simple fixes. We are ready. We are already in the process of updating our existing shaders to take advantage of this new infrastructure. That's nice.
Yeah.
I've only been experimenting shaders for like this past weekend. I've been like
Mm.
crunching through a bunch of things. So,
Yeah, I've
oh,
touched
is this
the
an example?
shader pipeline. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
This
this is showing the pre-compiled shaders.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really good,
It
right?
definitely looks better. Yeah, it looks better.
Mhm. No, I'm very like that seems like just performance for free kind of thing.
Yeah, pre-compiled shaders are kind
From
of busted. So,
yeah.
all right.
Okay. Moving on.
Do you get the jitters? Okay. 3D physics interpolation. With Godot 4.3, we introduce physics interpolation for your 2D projects. In this release, the long-awaited 3D counterpart has been merged as well. Make sure to enable it in your project settings. By decoupling physics ticks and display frame rates, physics interpolation creates additional frames between last physics position and the current one.
Oh.
This reduces jitter and creates a smooth experience, especially on displays with a high refresh rate. Mobile games in particular benefit from this change since you can now run lower tick rate without compromising smoothness. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So yeah, you can get a big performance increase while,
Wait,
just
hold
not
on.
noticing it.
If you notice, they do go into the ball,
Yeah.
the
'cause-
thing a bit more. It's a sacrifice for
Yeah.
visual.
But this isn't an extreme example. Why are you ever going to be running a game at 10 ticks a second in physics?
Oh,
I think the
don't
default
tempt
in
me.
Unity is 50. Oh, wow, what game would you do at that low of a frame rate
Bad
or tick
physics,
rate
the
for
game.
physics? Oh, that'd be horrible.
uh, the cool new kid on the block, AGX tone mapping. This tone mapping algorithm has gained a lot of popularity lately. Our friends at Blender even replaced their filmic tone mapper with AGX. The Godot implementation resembles theirs closely, but is purposely simplified to be more suitable for real-time use cases. AGX gives a more da, da, da. AGX gives a movie-esque quality to renderers and is capable of handling very bright scenes better than our other available options.
That's nice.
So
I
okay,
am
yeah.
yeah.
So AGX is
It
kind of
looks
like I think gamma correction.
okay. I've never actually used it. I don't know anything about AGX.
Neither do I.
It
But
it looks nice.
it looks nice. It looks cool. Is that
Yeah.
my area? Not even a
No.
little bit. It looks
I,
nice. Good job, I guess.
yeah, that's all I can say is it looks very nice.
Keys
Keys
required.
required.
Yes. Wait. I see this. I see this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
Okay. Keys required. Type dictionaries. Yes. Your requests have been heard. Type dictionaries are coming to Godot. This impacts the core engine, GDScript, and all other scripting languages when interfacing with the Godot's dictionary type. The inspector UX has been improved accordingly to let you assign the right key and values directly in the editor. Okay. I ran into
It,
areas where this was a pain.
right?
I ran
This
into a
is
lot of areas where
so
this was a
nice.
pain because I had to, oh, it's
Its
beautiful.
cries have been heard.
My complaints
I
are over. I didn't even know this was coming, so I'm so happy about this. Thank you, Godot.
yeah, this
Because it was a
especially
my
yeah, go ahead.
mind works in C sharp, so it was hard
Yeah,
to get my head around weakly typed languages.
I'm a very strongly typed brain, and weakly typed hurts me. And I was concerned since we're doing the networking course in GDScript. I was going, this is gonna be. I'm gonna have to deal with some weakly typed stuff. But now, I'm happy.
Okay. Core, harder, better, faster, stronger. Optimizations. Now the core feature sets of Godot 4 feels stable. Our contributors have shifted their efforts towards optimizing them across the board. Thank you. While
hmm
many of the linked pull requests were finished and tested before the 4.3 release, they did not make the merge deadline, resulting in a big batch for you now to enjoy. Cool.
Yeah.
Thing is, for Godot 4.5, at this point, they got almost everything I want. I
Yeah.
would be down
Godot.
for them to just say stability.
Yes, that's where I'd want them to go from here because for my needs, the engine basically has everything I need
Now that
to
they
do what I
finally
want.
added in, where is it? The window management and
And
in-game
yes,
editing. Basically,
those
that was the last thing I was complaining about.
there was a few other things in 3D. I disliked controlling or editing the camera and moving it around in scenes, but they fixed that.
Yeah.
That's further down in this patch. That's fixed.
Hmm.
Almost everything I had an issue with is like done. There's their physics. I don't like their implementation that much still, but like I'll deal with that. I can live.
Yeah, I'm fine with their physics. I've gotten used to it. It's fine now for me, but I did prefer
Yeah,
Unity's. That's just a personal preference.
yeah. I haven't delved too much into any of these except for the bottom one, which is the scroll down a performance boost for everyone.
Oh, okay. A performance boost for everyone. Scene tree system overhaul. The changes made to how the scene tree system works, specifically how it processes changes to the nodes, results in an editor performance increase for all projects. Moving or renaming nodes in complex scenes will be much faster now. Hey, free win, I
As
guess.
Yeah, as we're getting into doing more tutorial series and working on bigger projects in Godot, this one's going to be nice, I think, for us specifically, but I think just anybody who's doing a lot in Godot.
Yeah, we're finally moving into the Godot, more complex Godot of actually doing projects. We've done small projects, but never something big.
Nothing too big.
Never something that
Yeah.
required more than 1 to 2 videos.
And
So
that was always something on my mind that I was concerned about was how slow the scene tree was, but now they fixed that, so I'm very happy.
sweet, dude. This patch seems dope.
Everything about
Okay.
this patch, I like it.
Coming from Unity, I love being excited for patches again. With Unity, I dreaded every single patch because it just broke every universal render pipeline asset you had,
Oh,
and
yes.
like it crashed way more. Unity was not in a good state when I left it. I left it. I was working in it an hour ago. It's still my job,
Same.
but
Just got back from work, recording
but
this video now.
when I left personal projects for Godot.
Mm-hmm.
No more broken paths. Oh,
Yes. Yes.
you've mentioned this a few times. Okay, universal UID support, partial unique identifier UID support, a way of referencing resources without relying on human readable file paths prone to change. That's a big deal. So does
It
this mean
was
you could just
not.
move things around easily now?
Yes. Yes. It
Sweet.
was super easy to kind of. I bricked a few scenes a few times by just like moving things around in Godot,
Oh yeah,
and
no,
then the scenes wouldn't load. And yeah,
I
now it seems like this fixes that.
I bricked some scenes too. So
It's super easy to do, and if you know what you're doing, you can avoid it. But like, if you're new to Godot, and you shouldn't be relying on people knowing what they're doing, especially if you're working in a team.
yes,
Nah.
you're gonna find a lot of people who don't know what they're doing, and that's fair. You learn by doing. Don't feel bad if you don't know what
Yeah,
you're doing. But
but it's just a pain in the ass, and obviously that's why version control exists. But
yes.
one of the companies I worked at refused to use anything other than the main branch. You weren't allowed to
Oh
branch
yes,
off. Yeah, the
right.
VR development studio. Yeah, they forced you to use the main branch. I got in trouble because I branched out and did all my changes on another branch and then merged them back into main.
So what did
Because
they just not like handling merge conflicts?
yes, they didn't know how. So what I
Oh,
did is every time they changed everything on the main branch, I would just merge that back into my end and handle a merge conflict so that it was seamless when I merged everything back into main. But they had like 6 people all working on the same branch. It was the worst thing in the world.
that sounds like a nightmare.
Yes,
I wonder if they're still around.
they
Not
are.
we're not gonna name names, by the way. Uh,
They're still a very successful company.
cool. Good for them. Wait, where'd we stop? We started here.
Uh, yeah, we're on to the snap now.
Okay, yeah. We just we know what that is. Okay, snap.
Yeah.
You're it. 3D object snapping. When places 3D objects in the editor, they're now able to snap to other surfaces. This works through a collision detection ray. Sorry, and makes repositioning objects in a scene faster. So
Yes,
let's see
this
their
is
example.
very, very nice.
Yeah, that seems really cool.
Unity only fairly recently got this within the past couple years.
Oh, really?
So this is them like catching up a lot.
I feel like Godot's in this like mode of just adding stuff, adding stuff, adding stuff to catch
Hmm.
up. It
And
here. Okay, I'm gonna say Godot feels like it's really trying to be the Unity killer without
yes,
advertising that it's the Unity killer, but kind of is. So
I think it is.
at least the indie Unity killer. Godot and Unreal are the Unity killers.
Yeah, tag team.
Yeah, they're tag team in it. What else did you want?
The favorite editor items. I like that, especially when working on meshes, sometimes you go like 3 or so
Oh,
folders
yes.
down,
Actually, yes.
basically.
Even
Yeah.
shaders. You can go like
Yes.
4 menus in. This is nice. This is
Ex
really nice.
yeah, whereas, like, if you remember what you're searching for, that's fine, but sometimes I just don't remember the exact word for the thing I'm searching for. So, super nice. I love it.
Sweet. I kind of want to read this one. Camera 3D preview. Adjusting camera 3D now feels much less of a chore. Enjoy a preview of its capture directly in the inspector without having to
Mhm.
open another
Mhm.
viewport or switching back and forth anymore. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
I straight up, I never mentioned this to you, but I was just fighting against this as I was doing the last FPS video. I did like that little animation in Godot,
Yeah.
and I hated moving the camera so much. So much. And I was like, I sure hope they add this soon. They already had it in.
2 weeks later, it's out. It's full release. Perfect. That's really
Yeah.
nice because I didn't enjoy having to click preview. No, unclick preview, click preview. No, that wasn't a fun process.
Yeah, it's hard, and it made me just kind of settle for less perfect camera angles.
Yeah.
Okay, tooltips. I'm not.
Uh,
That's nice.
Tooltip. Yeah, it is nice.
But
This is kind of
mm,
similar to VS Code with C Sharp.
yeah,
It's very nice. Just hover it gives you more information. Anything else?
the both is good. That one's nice. That just seems like I can't remember why I added this one to the list.
Okay, Shadow Mask
Um,
for Light Map GI. From now on, you don't have to choose between fully baked or fully dynamic shadows anymore when using
right,
Light Map
that's why.
GI. By enabling Shadow Mask while baking your light maps, it is now possible to use static shadows in the distance and dynamic shadows up close. The lower resolutions far away will save precious resources while the level of detail close to the player is not impacted. Shortening the range of your dynamic shadows, like so, provides very important optimizations, especially for mobile applications. There seems to be a lot of updates specifically for mobile.
Well, I don't think this is a specifically for mobile. I think this is just benefiting mobile more.
Yeah, especially mobile. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
for everyone, but it seems like they're doing
because
a lot of optimizations, and a lot of it is saying, hey, it's going to run on mobile better, specifically.
yes, which it leads into the Unity killer thing for sure. But this is just a really nice thing for 3D. Period. This is a normal thing to have in 3D, and it's very good.
Yeah. Very nice. Persistent window state. This is a quality of life improvement for anyone using big monitors or multi-monitor setups. The Godot editor now keeps track of its window state, whether it's full screen or windowed mode, which screen it's on, as well as size and position. These settings are then automatically restored when you open the program again. Can I turn this off? Is my question, because I don't want it.
You don't want it,
I don't
really.
want it because sometimes I get my window in such a bad state that I will
Uh,
close and open the program again.
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
That's just a
I
me thing. Or sometimes my computer just yeets off Windows
Oh, yes.
into the ether, and I really don't want Godot opening there again. I know there's shortcuts to get it back, but I have to Google it every time, and it's annoying.
Yeah, it's not something I remember because it comes up once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Okay,
Scene
fair
startup
enough.
optimizations, editor load speed now improves once again. It's already so fast, okay?
Yes.
Calm down.
Up to 3 times.
Up to 3 times faster,
You know what?
guys.
The scenes will launch before you even click them.
Yeah,
You'll sit down at your computer, be like, maybe I should open Godot, and the scene will pop up.
yeah, it's guys, this is crazy. I already even small Unity projects, it's slow. Okay. Good job.
Today, on my laptop, it took me 20 minutes to launch a basic Unity project.
Oh yeah, no. Thing is for I will not touch Unity on my crappy 2017 laptop. I do almost all my research for Godot on it.
Yeah.
Like Godot runs wonderfully on old stuff. I'll give it so
hmm
much credit there. Unity runs
Eh,
like a
it
dying
runs.
car going uphill. There you
I
go.
think all you need to say is it runs, and
It
that's about
runs?
it.
Question mark. Small but mighty visual shader goodies. In this release, the visual shader editor receives some love, material previews, and a matching new side dock. The
See,
ability to
this is
drag and drop meshes into the visual shader area to automatically create mesh emitters.
just another one of those things, like the camera thing, where it's like, or editing the stuff in game, where it's just gonna make your life a million times better. It's so nice getting a material preview while working on a shader. Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah. Uh,
That's that's so nice, rather than having to like stop, look at your shader, okay, stop, look at your shader, okay, stop, look at your shader.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is super nice. Oh, okay. They're showing their
the
shader
visuals.
graph.
Yeah, it's for the visual shader graph.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
for the
haven't worked
yeah,
on that much. I've mainly programmed my own at this point,
yeah.
which I
That
kind of
same,
like. But
but one of the nicest things about working with a visual shader graph is that you can see the shader updating live on whatever,
it's true.
and it just makes it your life a million times better.
Although maybe with new Ace GLSL new language,
Yeah,
it updates also kind of in real time. But it's cool.
yeah.
I really wanna do a video on that.
Same.
Auto start for all profilers. If you want to capture profiling data while running your game without missing the first few seconds of loading a scene, I don't really care.
I care if they add C sharp support. Where's the C sharp
Oh,
support for
there's
the
no C sharp for
profiler?
support for this. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. Yes, I do see. Yes, sorry. I it is kind of a big deal. I don't know why
Yeah,
I gapped, but yes, it is a big deal. So there's still no C sharp support for the profiler.
yeah. That makes me very sad.
Oh,
That
that
that hurts me
sucks.
inside.
Errorless first
Okay.
project.
That one is meh, but I do like the one up a little bit. The on the button.
On the button, at export tool button annotation. The tool developers amongst you asked for our contributors delivered, and our contributors delivered. You can now create buttons for in the inspector from at tool scripts. Cool. Hey,
Yeah,
that's a dope thing. Wait, I want to see this code.
yeah. Watch the GIF.
Randomized number generator. Okay, so he's var button. You can randomize color. Wait. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna make building tools for Godot so much easier. So much easier.
That's really cool. Good job, Godot.
I love it.
Wow, my
Nothing in
commentary's
platforms
on
that I really
point.
care. Keep scrolling. None of this really like.
Melting workarounds.
Yeah.
Melting or metal? Metal. Okay, yeah, metal melting. C sharp. Okay, I care. I wanna read this if you
Okay,
don't mind.
read this one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
.NET 8.0. With the release of Godot 4.0, we moved our C sharp packages from targeting mono .NET 6. This version of .NET was released on November 8th, 2021, and ended support on November 12th, 2024. Therefore, our next release will implement and raise the minimum required version to .NET 8. Existing projects will automatically be upgraded when opened with Godot 4.4, while older releases will keep targeting .NET 6 to avoid breakage. Isn't Unity still on .NET 4?
I think so. I maybe they're working on getting it updated now. Last I heard, they were working on getting it updated so you could actually use NuGet packages. But yeah,
Okay. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Look at modifier 3D. This new node type is used to handle 3D model procedural animation, replacing the depreciated skeleton inverse kinematic 3D. It is specialized to make a character model look in the target direction. Cool. Therefore, users
yes.
can now assign angle limitations, forward axis settings, and more directly instead of relying on specific bone structure or arbitrary layouts.
This just is a really nice workflow. It's a workflow improvement for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I don't do too much with 3D animations, but from
I
what I
want
know,
to.
this sounds like it would be nice.
Yeah. Jiggle physics.
This one
Springbone
has one of those
simulator.
nice animations where you can scroll your mouse across the middle of the
Oh, it
GIF.
does. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see without now. So her hair was kind of popping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a bit
Yeah.
better.
Lot better.
Springbone Simulator 3D, the VRM Springbone has been available as an add-on on the asset library for a while, but there were some issues that could only be fixed by a more direct implementation. The animation team refined the MIT distributed code based on Godot's skeleton modifier 3D node and tied it with existing core functionality. This helps improve both usability and performance. Cool.
Yeah. It's nice. I like it.
I need to look at the Godot asset library more.
Yes.
I don't
They've
look
got
at
some
it.
really nice
They
assets.
got some nice assets.
Okay.
Put a pin in
Put a
it.
pin in it.
Animation markers. Markers allow you to create subregions of an animation that can be jumped to or looped without playing the entire animation. Oh, that's
I
nice.
love that.
These markers are also supported inside the animation tree where you can easily create an animation node's custom timeline based on the markers. Cool.
Can you jump to those through code? Can you I wonder how you specify using
I'm sure
like
you can. I really hope you can.
yeah, because that would be nice.
That would be really nice.
That'd be very handy if you want to do a bunch of like dynamic animations and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audio.
The
Wow.
audio one,
Wow, one thing. Okay.
yeah, it's just loading in WAV files.
Okay, just
at
like
runtime.
OGG, just use OGG.
Yeah. Done. Just use OGG. This one, it's just faster.
Faster
nice,
imports.
but
Guys, it's already fat. Fine. Okay. Not even complaining. No.
I kind of just skipped this section. The navigation section's nice.
Navigation, background chains, asynchronous navigation. That's nice. Navigation map synchronization has been moved to an asynchronous background thread. Good. This avoids slow down the entire game during navigation updates, especially on lower end systems. Fantastic. Instead, updates will happen less frequently when resources are limited. Great.
This is so nice.
So just
once
faster,
again,
yeah, the faster movement. That's
great. I hope you can turn it off.
I'm sure you can.
Because that's one thing I'm worried about with if you're having a dedicated server and you may just want it all running on one thread, but I hope you can turn it off. But this is so nice for if you were doing anything with lots of pathfinding.
Yes.
Big improvement.
Big boost. Improving the legacy code.
They're just
oh, go ahead.
They're just refactoring the old nav code, which
okay.
needed to happen.
Okay, we did navigation videos, and people kept saying it half the time it didn't work, or the navigation was bad, so it needed to happen.
Yes, it had to happen. Okay, physics.
Debugging in style. Custom colors for collision shapes. Cool.
Yeah.
Collision shapes.
So you could just specify if you want like certain collisions, and it's nice.
That is nice. Rendering.
Nothing super special.
Blend into the shadows, light map bicubic sampling and transparency. Thanks to bicubic sampling and new anti-aliasing for direct light samples, your low-resolution static shadows will now look better than ever. This method.
Look at those soft shadows.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they are softer.
Mm-hmm.
That is nicer.
That looks so much better.
Thing is, I love hard shadows. I don't know why. I find it kind of cool.
I don't dislike them at all. I've never had an issue with it, but I now that I'm a game dev, I'm like, oh, I do notice them.
Oh yeah, I do notice it, but I'm also fully willing to turn it on and just run with it. It doesn't never bother me, but it's nice.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from my experience at all, in my opinion.
It smooths out sharp edges, small performance cost. Got it. can disable.
Yeah.
Vertex shading, retro vibes. A new shading option for materials that can be turned on from within existing material nodes or force enabled on all materials via project settings. Vertex shaders reduce GPU workload by checking whether vertices coordinates are within clipping space visible to the camera before processing the data. This option is most commonly used to achieve PSX style graphics PS1, PlayStation, or to target
Yeah.
lower end devices. I find that funny that they're actually targeting that people targeting PS1 style graphics. That's kind of cool. Because
Yeah.
those are making a research. It's I think specifically in horror. I think
Yes. And retro shooters. There's
I
a lot of retro shooters that go for that look now too.
oh really? Okay, I did not know that. I don't play a lot of shooters. I love the fog, the render distance in this animation clip.
Yes.
Really trying to give you the Silent Hill type vibes.
But it's a good update. It's just another a lever for creative control or even performance.
Call me
All right.
maybe. Okay. Hey, I just
2D
mentioned
batching.
2D
2D
batching. Batching is a
batching.
performance optimization that drastically reduces the number of draw calls in a scene. Great, fantastic. The effect will be particularly noticeable in scenes with a lot of text rendering or repeated sprites sharing a texture. Fantastic.
I thought this was in here already.
I did too. So this kind of what is that like Vampire Survivor game or something?
Yeah.
Where it's just a
Yeah.
lot of the same enemy on screen and you just plow through them. This is
Hmm.
going to be more effective for that type of game.
Yeah, this is going to allow you to have hundreds or thousands of enemies on screen much easier than it did before.
Because even in Unity, you would often batch the draw calls if you had to draw a lot of sprites all at once.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Good job. This will be
I like
protected
it.
with a lot of text. Oh yeah, read that. Previously, this optimization was only available in the compatibility render. Oh, so it wasn't there. This release brings
Um
batching to other render backends as well, which should make 2D performance comparable amongst all of them. Sweet.
I, I like that. That's a good one. The driver fallback, meh.
Yeah. What else here?
The variations made easier.
Okay, 2D shader instance uniforms. This release adds support for shaders instance uniforms to canvas items. They allow you to assign different uniform values to each instance of the item instead of having to compile two separate shaders to achieve this. Wait, sorry.
Very nice.
Yeah,
If
this approach is more performant than having to juggle materials and does not break batching. Cool.
Yeah, this is just one of those things where it's like you can make variations now and you get the batching and it's makes performance and stuff good.
Great.
The usability of VFX in this one, oh, I love this one. I
Okay.
love this one. I
Removing the
hated working.
guesswork. Emission shapes of 3D particle systems. From now on, you can rely on visualizations of 3D particle systems you're placing in your scene instead of having to guess based on the emission shape properties alone. This
Hmm.
works for both CPU and GPU particles. Good job. That's fantastic. That's just a...
It's like it's in the same category as the camera update of this makes life better.
There's a lot of that. And I'm
Yep,
happy with it. Okay,
and we're done. That was a
fantastic
lot.
update. That is a lot.
And we didn't even cover, but most things we covered this time. Last time we talked about 4.2. We
Yeah,
didn't
we missed
cover half of it.
4.3. We were on
Yeah,
break during 4.3. Wow, there is a lot here.
there was a lot, and all of it just chef's
Really
kiss. It's
fantastic stuff.
wonderful.
I didn't even think
And
about the modifying VR games. I never worked at a VR studio, so
yeah, but oh, it's nice. I love this update. It's so good.
it's fantastic.
And
Good job,
the
Go community.
presentation,
Okay, the
wonderful. I love the
presentation
gifts.
was a big upgrade. Look at this. Look at this.
It's a masterpiece.
I'm
I
not a
love
web
these
dev.
gifts.
I don't know how hard it is, but I like it.
Yes.
I'm sure it's not that bad.
All right. Well,
All
thank you guys
right.
for watching. Next week, we do have a special episode. We're interviewing Dylan Mansfield, who is a writer for video games, and we'll be talking about how to specifically talk about your video games. He's written for companies like Did You Know Gaming and stuff. So, yeah, that is going to be an exciting episode. Keep a lookout for that. Anything else you got to say, Tate?
I got nothing. Hope you guys have a good one. I
Yeah,
look forward to
thanks.
doing tutorials for Godot 4.4 in the future. See you guys.
Same. Bye.